Hello and welcome back. Today we are talking about 4 affordable places that you can get counseling, because often when you hear people talking about what keeps them from getting counseling, money is pretty high up there on the list, and that makes sense because a lot of counseling is very expensive. Right off the bat, I'm going to start with number 1, which I think is the best option, and that is going to a private practice where they offer a sliding scale in order to see clients for a lower rate than they would normally charge. While finding a therapist who does this, who has availability, is a little bit more work than some of the other options, if you're willing to do the work of looking, chances are you will find someone who you can work with. Option number 2 is community centers. Now this can be anywhere from a community counseling center to a food bank, because a lot of these places offer mental health resources and have some clinicians on staff who you can see. The pro is that often they do offer very low cost or no cost services. The con is that when people know about them, they tend to be fairly booked, and it can be hard to actually schedule an appointment there because there may be a wait list for 6 months. But know that they are there, and if you're willing to look, it is an option. The third option are college or university counseling centers. Often, these training centers will provide services either for free or very low rate. And so if you have a university in your town that trains master's or doctoral level clinicians, it's worth looking into whether or not they have a counseling center where you could go and get services like this. One of the pros of this is, again, that it's very cheap, and usually you can get seen there fairly easily versus like the community center. One of the cons is that it can often feel like you're not getting as good treatment if you are seeing somebody who is still in training. And as much as I said that was kind of a con, it's really not, because the interns who typically staff these centers, they're right at the end of their grad school program. They've usually completed all or almost all of their coursework, and all of the work that they do is supervised by licensed clinicians. Now the fourth thing I'm going to mention, and I'm kind of hesitant to mention these, are online platforms like Talkspace, BetterHelp, Teledoc. The reason I'm hesitant to mention these is that while they can offer lower cost services to some people, not all, they're also not great for the counseling profession, because they tend to be kind of like the Amazon or the Walmart of the counseling profession, which doesn't really serve the actual clinicians well. Yes, people gain value from them, yes, they do some good things, but at the end of the day, they're not structured in a way that really can sustain counselors long term. Again though, just because these platforms don't necessarily serve the clinician well, there are people who really do gain value from working with therapists on that platform. The major pro of all of those platforms is that they're incredibly easy to set up. Remember though, it is number 4 on my list, and as much as I'm putting it out there as this is an option that you could do, I still don't know that I would actually recommend it. And finally, I know I said 4, but I'm gonna give a 5th kind of honorable mention. If you have health insurance, then there's a good chance that your health insurance will cover some sort of mental health services, and before you go out and spend any money, it is worth looking into that, because you pay a lot of money for insurance, and it would be nice if your insurance would pay a little bit of money for you to be healthy. Either way, I want you to remember that as much as there can be very expensive counseling out there, not all counseling has to be expensive. There are affordable options, and if you're willing to do the work to look for them, you will be able to find them, and you will be able to get the mental health support that you could really use. And for now, that is all I have. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, feel free to give it a like, maybe subscribe below if you want to see more sporadic content that I occasionally post. And until next time, have a fantastic day.